Hi everybody, this is going to be a quick review of my Midea U-shaped air conditioner. I bought the 8000 BTU version because it's supposed to be the quietest one, obviously because the fans are smaller and it's a smaller unit, but also because my office is about 180 square foot. I'm sure it would be more than enough to do the job. Also, I wanted to make sure that on my 15 amp circuit that this AC wouldn't overload my circuit with my PCs running because I work from home. I work in IT, I have several computers. At this moment in time, I have 5 PCs in this room, and I have 2 PCs on and 2 monitors right now. So basically at any given moment in time, I could be drawing about 1,000 watts of electricity in just my computers, and it heats up this room really fast, and that's why I have this guy to help cool it down. But also, if I draw too much energy from the AC, it's going to blow my circuit, right? It's going to trip my breaker. So I wanted to make sure that I stay well under the 15 amp limit that I have here on this circuit. So I decided to hook up a watt meter and kind of figure out how much power I'm drawing from the AC. And let's go step by step. I'm going to turn the unit on. It's on fan only on low, right? It tells you the current temperature of the room. It's currently 76 degrees. It's sunny outside, but this is still kind of mid-morning, so it hasn't really heated up in here. It can get up to easily 90, 100 degrees in my office, just because I have so many computers running at the same time sometimes. I can see the watt meter is pegged at around 9.2, 9.3 watts. So basically no electricity at all, right? And I'm not editing the sound on this at all, so whatever you hear is what I'm hearing in the room. On low, the fan is pretty quiet. Here we go up to medium. This is where you kind of start hearing a little bit of the noise. And then you can see the wattage went up slightly to 11 watts or so. And if I go up to high, this is when it starts getting a little bit loud for me. I know people say this AC is whisper quiet and all that, but it really isn't. I have to say, I still use my Sony XM3 headphones. With the noise canceling on these headphones, I cannot hear this AC at all. Even when the compressor's on and there's like low rumblings, I can't hear it. It's really great. So in combination with my headphones, this AC has worked out perfectly. So we can see that on the high setting with the fan on, we're drawing about 16 watts of electricity, which is really negligible, right? Let's try the AC mode. So I had it set to 78 degrees. We saw when the fan was on, the room temperature was actually 76. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop it a little bit. You can hear the compressor kick in. It's still pretty quiet. So whatever you're hearing now is what I'm hearing in the room. And again, if you're wearing noise canceling headphones like these excellent Sony XM3s that I have, I don't hear the compressor kick on at all because of these noise canceling headphones. Now you can see on the watt meter, I'm at around 190 watts. This is on cool, eco, and low. So if I'm running 2 PCs, right, if I have 2 computers that draw about 400 to 500 watts each, I'm well within my limit of 1800 watts on my 15 amp breaker. Okay, so now you can see on low, we're staying under 200 watts. Let me bump up the fan to medium. And it doesn't just kick on the fan stronger, it actually works a little bit harder. So you saw that when my fan was on low, fan only, it was only like 9 watts. And then when I bumped it up to medium, it went up to about 11 watts. But if the compressor is on, meaning the AC is actually on, it actually goes up closer to 300 watts. The compressor is actually working harder to make more cool air, right? So this is about typical, I've noticed. I'll hit about 305, 310 watts on medium. And on medium, this is like really fast cooling in my office. I can leave it on low all day and it'll keep the room perfectly cool, and the compressor will be on only like half the time. Because what happens is it's pretty smart. Once it realizes it's getting close to the temperature, the compressor will kick off and then you'll see the wattage drop significantly, but the cool air continues to blow because there's still cool air in the system, right? So we're now at 316 watts. Let me kick the fan up to high. I actually haven't seen this unit hit 400 watts yet. So this is about typical. Maybe on high, I'll see maybe 330, 350 watts at the most. And with this watt meter, I want to make note. I also look at the high, meaning the absolute maximum peak we've seen. And so far on this test, we've only seen up to 332 watts. Because when an AC first kicks on, it draws an extreme amount of power before it settles down to kind of the steady state, right? So I actually expected to see a watt spike, but it doesn't spike. It actually ramps up gently, which is perfect in my situation, right? Because let's say if this AC would spike up to like 700 watts, right? And if I had 4 computers on in this room, it would probably trip the breaker, right? But knowing that this AC unit slowly ramps up the wattage, I'm never gonna have that problem because I'm not seeing any spikes. So far our high is 337 watts, which is perfect, right? So let's go back to our current wattage. 337 watts currently on high. The air is ice cold. It's a little bit noisy for my taste. So like I mentioned, in my office, low is more than enough. And I usually keep it on this level. It's not too loud, it's not silent, but it's a bearable sound. It does make a little bit of a low rumble every once in a while, but this is nothing like the sound level of the typical window AC, right? It's still really quiet in comparison. Now let's turn the eco off and see what happens, all right? So eco's off. I've noticed even with the eco off, the wattage doesn't go up too much. So right now, eco off on low, we're consuming 200 watts. Let's go to medium. And I can hear the compressor kick on a little bit harder right now. I heard the little low rumble kick up a little bit. So we're still ramping up. We're at 312, 316. It'll probably reach a steady state close to 330, which is the same wattage as eco, cool on high fan, right? So right now we have eco off, cool, medium fan, and it's drawing about the same wattage as eco off on high with the AC on, right? So now I'll kick it up to high. And this will be like the absolute highest wattage I think we'll be able to see. And it's not even going much higher than 333 there. I don't know if setting the temperature lower will make it work harder. I don't think it does. I think it just blows cold air on high. When it gets close to your desired temperature, you'll hear the compressor kick off, and then it'll just blow whatever cool air is left inside. So let's see, did our maximum go up? Our high did go up to 341, which is not significantly higher, right? On eco high, I think we were in the 330s, so it really didn't increase the maximum that much. I do think the algorithm where the compressor decides to kick on and off differs a little bit when the eco is on and off. So I just leave the eco on because I don't notice a significant difference. If it does actually use less power, that's a good thing, right? And again, this is where I leave mine. I go eco, cool on low, and I can tolerate pretty warm temperatures. So I usually have mine just set to 78, which I'm sure this room is right now. And now the compressor is completely off. So this is basically just on low fan. There's no compressor. The air is still ice cold. The funny thing I've noticed is when I have the desired temperature set and we reach that desired temperature, even though the fan is set to low, the fan will completely shut off sometimes, right? So it'll reach the desired temperature, and then the air coming out of the unit starts to warm up, right? Because the compressor's been off for a while. The fan will shut down completely, and let's see if it does that right now. Maybe I'll set the target higher and see if it shuts off. Oh, there it goes. It reached the optimal temperature. It realized that the blowing air coming out of the unit is warmer than the room air of 80, so it stopped blowing. When it gets below 80, the compressor and the fan will kick on together at the same time. So even though my fan setting is set to low, there's no air coming out of this unit right now because I'm at the desired temperature. Now, if you're on mode fan and you have it set to low, it'll blow continuously no matter what the temperature is. So like right now I set it to fan low and it'll blow continuously. The problem is if you want to keep a room cool, just blowing the fan may not be helpful because eventually it's going to start blowing hot air, right? So you're not going to want that. Okay, well, thank you everybody for watching this review. This AC's been working out really great. In all-day use, I use maybe 2 kilowatts of energy per day, which is a lot better than 3, 4, 5 kilowatts per hour on my central air conditioner upstairs, especially considering that I'm the only one upstairs in my house. All my kids and my wife, they stay downstairs, so it's a non-issue for them. This AC is probably going to pay for itself by maybe next year. I might calculate that, I might not. PG&E is constantly raising rates and they have these convoluted formulas for me with my solar system, and I think they're ripping me off. But anyways, this is one way to stay cool and not waste so much electricity. Thanks everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.